Vermont Red Pill here. How is everybody today? We had a really interesting thing happen yesterday. One of our best undercover journalism entities is going to be no more. Project Veritas is dead. Because Project Veritas is James O'Keefe. And without James O'Keefe, there is no Project Veritas. But I do believe that that is the board's intention. It's not to get rid of James and make the company better. No. It's to get rid of James and destroy the company from within. Now, either they are going to destroy the company, try to run away with the donors' money, and, they're going to be getting plenty of money from Big Pharma anyway for doing this. So it's not like they're not going to make a ton of money off of this. I mean, what was the incentive for the board to kick James off? Well, the timing was really interesting because the timing is right at the point where they had their biggest story ever. The Pfizer blowout, the guy that worked for Pfizer who was on a blind date with a undercover journalist from Project Veritas, basically went crazy, trapped people in a pizza parlor, destroyed James O'Keefe's iPad. Yeah, like 50 million people saw that video. It's no surprise that the same exact week that they break the big Pfizer story happens to be the same week that the Project Veritas officer starts having problems with James, brings it up to the board, and the board wants to get rid of James. Same exact week as the 50 million views on the Pfizer story. To think that those things are not related, seriously, if you believe something like that, you are one of those people that believes that Epstein actually killed himself. And I feel sorry for you. Because you are about to have a rude awakening when the Great Reset starts being put into place. Oh, they're putting the pieces in place now. We ain't seen nothing yet. NWO, Great Reset, it's coming, whether we want it or not. There is no Veritas in Project Veritas anymore. Mighty James has stepped down from being CEO. So here we are talking about Project Veritas. Project Veritas, which has lied constantly about this whole entire situation with James O'Keefe. Veritas in their name means truth. It's Latin for truth. And all they're doing is lying. So James was the Veritas in Project Veritas. I don't know exactly where Project Veritas is going from here, but it sure seems like their board is compromised in many different ways. It's the board, it's not the employees, it's not the journalists. I'm assuming there was a scene that was similar to the great Jerry Maguire movie, where he's like, who's coming with me? Who's coming with... I mean, he didn't say that, but, the way that he was talking and connecting with everyone that was there, it was inspiring. Sad, very sad, but inspiring. I'm talking about the video that was leaked. It was supposed to be distributed amongst the people that worked at Project Veritas, and someone leaked it. So Tim Pool put it on his channel, and it was about a 45-minute video, and you go through an emotional roller coaster watching it. I recommend, if you want to know more about this particular situation, or anything really with Project Veritas, or anything really dealing with James and what he's gone through the last few weeks, I recommend you check out the video too. There just isn't a good time to record things. You just have to do it anyway. Okay, so Project Veritas. I could go through the steps of the meetings with you, but it all started on February 2nd. Actually, let's start with what happened. They caught a Pfizer employee bragging to their blind date, which I actually heard was not a blind date, that this was like their third date. We all know what happens on the third date, right? That's what he thought was going to happen. So he was spilling the beans about what Pfizer was really up to, which was mutating the COVID virus so that they could make more money off vaccines. So just like mutating it, here's this variant, ooh, here's a vaccine for this one, oops, it got out, oh no, now everybody's got this particular COVID variant. After everything else they've done, would you be that surprised? Because I wouldn't. That is what happened to create this whole chain of events that eventually leads to James O'Keefe leaving his very own company, Project Veritas. So we begin with the Pfizer story. It was huge. So many people ended up seeing it. Let's just say the whistle was blown on Pfizer. That they're not going to be, I wouldn't think they'd be messing with the COVID virus now to make all sorts of different vaccines. I think enough people have seen what they were up to, and now there's going to be people watching them, or organizations watching them, because I'm suspicious as hell about whatever else they've been doing. They were doing that, just God knows what else they were doing. Interestingly enough, a couple of days later, so this was in late January that the video came out, the Pfizer video came out, and everybody was reacting. February 2nd, James has a dispute with his fundraising officer, and they're talking about different reasons as to why their fundraising method was better. And James's way of wanting to do things was the exact opposite of the way that this board member, who is the chief financial officer handling the fundraising money, they didn't see eye to eye in this. And I guess that the fighting spilled into a board meeting, and dirty laundry was exposed in that way. Well, he kept having problems with this board member, and eventually, just a couple days later, he fired him. And that is when all of this craziness started. Now all of a sudden there were accusations of all sorts of things, from he paid for his own wedding through company funds, to he bought too many black cars, to you name it. He stole a pregnant woman's sandwich. That was there. And Tim Pool did say something really interesting about that, which was, it sounds like a lie that somebody would make up. Does it not? It sounds like a lie. A silly lie. Maybe even a child made it up. It's just not a normal thing to hear. That somebody would just steal a sandwich from a pregnant person. Interesting. Why a pregnant person? I don't know. Just sounds sus to me. Anyway, you look at these different things and you wonder whether or not these reasons as to why to ask James to step down, or basically give up all your power, because that's what they wanted. They wanted James to stay on but have no authority and no power and no way of touching the funds or fundraising for Project Veritas. Essentially, he had no more job. The worst thing about all of this, well, the worst thing is to lose James and have him booted from his own company, which has been one of the only places that whistleblowers can go to when they have something to report against powerful entities like the government, like big tech, like Big Brother, like Big Pharma. Project Veritas is where the whistleblowers go, because they know that information will get out, it will have a large audience, and maybe something will be done about it. They also have good lawyers, and I would assume that they would do everything they can to protect the identity of the whistleblower. We're going to lose that agency where the whistleblowers felt safe coming to. Think about this. Project Veritas was to us what WikiLeaks was, what Assange was running, which was a place for people to be able to drop top secret or whistleblowing type of documents. No other place to drop them. Anonymously get them to Julian Assange, who put them onto WikiLeaks. Yeah, we know how well that ended up for Julian Assange, who was still wanted by the government, who is not a free man, even though he's married with children now. He's been treated horribly over the last decade. That's really horrible. I would like to make a plea to anyone out there who has any sort of pull with the government, with God, with whoever. Please, free Assange. He is a journalist. He is a good man. He is a father. He is a hero. And he should be free. Sorry to get off on that, but James is our Julian Assange now. And we are losing our WikiLeaks. This is huge consequences for truth. Veritas. Where are the whistleblowers going to go now? My guess, not for where the whistleblowers are going, but my guess as for the future of Project Veritas is there is no future. Project Veritas is dead. I think that in some ways that is exactly what the board wanted. Take the money and run, or just try to make it look like, oh, well, no, we're trying to fight the company being in trouble with their reputation, and we're gonna say, you know, James did all these bad things, and we legit want the company to keep going, and we want to keep fundraising, and we want to keep using Project Veritas as a place for people to expose secrets, and we want Project Veritas to be seen as that of truth, like the agency of truth. They would not lie. What's going to happen? They're going to become a Snopes if they survive at all.